Yeah, I think you're right for me. And I did spend a decent amount of time on the Saints offensive field, Rams defensive field, and the Saints really struggled to get any kind of rhythm going on offense because Verse and Young and Braden Fisk and those guys were just kind of living in the backfield. And so again, we've seen that whenever they've gone against other teams, is the defensive line has kind of asserted its dominance. And yeah, I think that's going to be really the key to their season, their ability to generate consistent pass rush. And then along with that, I was able to talk to Giff Smith, the defensive line coach, and Braden Fisk about Puna Ford, and both those guys just gushed over kind of what he's bringing to that group and his ability to be stout in the interior of that defense. And I think that's going to bode well in terms of their ability to consistently stop the run, having a legit run stuffer like that in the inside. And they also believe he can help in terms of pass rush. That don't be surprised if you still see him on the field in third down situations and being able to push the pocket. So for me, defensive line play. And then I think we saw, Blake Corum continue to make moves. I mean, he's been solid. He looks way better than he did. And from my eyes, his rookie season, he just looks like he's playing faster and he has a better understanding of the offense. And now you're starting to see those highlight plays that you saw when he was at Michigan a few years ago. And so obviously they gave Kyron a lot of money. He deserves it with the way that he's produced over the last couple of years. However, we know what happened with the Todd Gurley years and the overuse. And so having a guy like Blake, I think you can kind of guard against that a little bit and maybe have a little bit of 1-2 punch there with those two guys.
Eric says, all aboard the Blake Corum train.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm with Eric. I saw Blake Corum have a good amount of runs there, and I know I started off the show by saying that it's a little hard for the running game to get going during the joint scrimmage because you want to be safe. But then I think after that Justin Reed hit, the intensity picked up, and it became actually a good work for the running game. And I saw a lot of Kyron, a lot of Blake Corum, and then Jarquez Hunter, the rookie out of Auburn. So those three guys, like the running game was good. It's just Jimmy G in the quarterback for the passing attack wasn't so good. But I like what I saw with the running attack. But for my point, I'll kind of go off with the camp gems, and then I'll be quick about this question here. I mean this Nolia Ant question, but I'll be quick with the gems because I'm not there every day, and I know a lot of the Rams beat reporters have been high on the rookie wide receiver Kanante Mumfield.
Yep.
And then the other one is a linebacker, Nate Landman, who was with the Falcons for the last few years. And Landman, I think, got the forced fumble on Camaros, and they were loving it. They were jumping. The entire Rams defense was loving that play. He set the tone right away. And then in the middle of the practice, I was turning to Fernando. And Fernando asked me, like, who's 15? And he made like back-to-back plays, and I looked up the roster. Oh, yeah, that was Mumfield there. So, he was with the third or the second team because I was Stetson Bennett throwing the ball. But to make plays with whoever's on the field or who's your quarterback, I think to me goes a long way. But again, I'm just going off of like these guys potentially doing something. They're gonna be superstars. But if you're getting hype from the beat reporters, I kind of wanted to see it for myself, and they're making plays. So I'll give them shout outs for that. And then real quick, Nolia, and I think the Saints really want Tyler Shough to be the quarterback there. I know Spencer Rattler started today for a bit, and then after that, it was a lot of Shough. So they really want Tyler to be the guy there. And Fernando pointed this out because he was at the preseason game, Chargers Saints. He's a very good learner, and he's a gamer. He has a good toughness. I don't know if that means he's a good skill quarterback, but he has good attributes, good size, good arm. But I'll say this: there wasn't nothing that was very impressive today. And I know Eric was watching that side of the field today, but you get the sense they want him to be the guy. And the biggest thing for him, being a rookie quarterback on a probably bad team, can you be a quick learner? Can you forget about the mistakes and move on and just show toughness? That could go a long way. In terms of the skill set, I don't know if it's totally there, but I like the toughness, and I think he's going to win that job to keep it short there.
I'm going to push back just a little bit.
Okay.
I think they're all three about even. I agree with that. I feel like Rattler's maybe the most game ready out of those guys. The one thing that I did see from Shough is when he got pressured, that the ball just kind of went all over the place. Like, I don't think he was always composed under pressure. He looks great in 2-minute drill when the pocket's clean and you just have 2-man back there, and you don't have a lot of guys getting his face. But his ability to evade isn't as good as Rattler's is. But I do feel like he has higher potential, higher ceiling. I think Rattler has a higher floor. I think all three of those guys are probably going to play at some point this season, so they get a good evaluation.
Eric. Come on, just keep the two guys at 1 and 2.
So, but I think ultimately they're probably going to draft another quarterback next year. I think that's kind of where they're headed.
Okay.
Fernando's been saying.
Yeah,
his son's coming
OC
out.
son, right, from
Nussmeier's
LSU.
son. He's coming out at LSU next year.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to move very far. He can be there with Papa.
Yeah, a lot of former Idaho guys on that roster, coaching roster.
Biggest takeaway. I agree with Eric. I think they will go. I think Kellen Moore has a little bit of cushion. I don't think there's like pressure because I'm sure the Saints know exactly what they have. Sean Payton was there for numerous years. I think they know they're going to have to be patient, but I think they're going to go Rattler, and then maybe at one point they're going to have to go Shough just to see what the kids got. Again, I think the weapons. I mean, if Olave and all these guys are ready to go, I think they're good. I think they should be able to at least muster something up. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, but from the Rams side, I was surprised that Jared Verse was so calm. I thought today, like against the Cowboys, he was chirping left and right. He was getting into Dak Prescott's face. He was getting into everybody's face. And here he was a little bit more. Every fight or scrum that happened against the Cowboys, Jared Verse was in the middle of it. And here he was a lot more composed, more chilled out. Like it's kind of like he said, "Oh yeah, you guys. I mean, the Cowboys will probably see them down the line. You guys, I mean, exactly." So, no, I thought again. And by the way, speaking of that receiver number 15, both of those were bad throws by Stetson Bennett, and the dude made a good adjustment. You forgot that part. He made good adjustments to come down with it. But no, I really think that again the run game was good. I thought in one of those Blake Corum planted Demario Davis on a pass protection, so I thought that was pretty impressive as well. Like he literally had him on the ground, and I was like, okay. There was a lot of chirpiness between Demario Davis and Kyron Williams. Also, so I thought that was interesting. But no, I thought that the defensive line of the Rams got a lot of pressure on both Rattler, Shough. I thought they were constantly getting push, and obviously that's a little shaky for a young quarterback, whether it is Rattler or whether it is Shough, especially because they're going to play Tampa Bay. They play a lot of these teams that have good fronts. So they play the Atlanta Falcons, who obviously drafted 2 young edge rushers. So that's going to be a little worrisome for the Saints. But I have more on the Saints than I do on the Rams. I thought the Rams looked good against the Cowboys. I thought their run game looked very good against the Cowboys. Then this time I thought their run game looked really good. It's just that Jimmy G factor. Can Jimmy G kind of get things going? Their offensive line, though, pass protection, it was shaky at times. Chris Rumph was getting some push on there. I saw him a couple times. I saw Chase Young get some push. So that's the pass protection. I think is going to be the biggest. Is going to have the biggest spotlight on it when you talk about the Rams.
Yeah, and I just saw that David Quisenberry was the one that was starting at left tackle instead of DJ Humphries. So I don't know what happened there today with DJ Humphries because he's supposedly been starting at left tackle while Alaric Jackson deals with the blood clots, which that's the other name that I keep hearing that it should be ready to go week 1 as well as Alaric Jackson. But we'll see. I mean, we know how the Rams are about, they like to be positive about it, but it wouldn't surprise me if both Alaric Jackson and Matthew Stafford are on IR to start the season, and then they kind of just shuffle guys, over. But